Mm-hmm.
And I remember she was wearing a World of Warcraft shirt.
Oh.
This is so funny. I looked at her and I looked at the shirt and I was like, "World of Warcraft? Isn't that game for boys?"
Oh no.
And she was like, "No, there are a lot of girls who play WoW." I was like, so much. I actually have so many, like, little things. This is a vacuum.
What? When people say something that's like mildly like could be taken the wrong way against gay people or whatever, I'll be like, hey, chill, my husband's
My
gay.
husband's gay. That's so fucking funny.
Have you ever pretended to be a moonkin in order to join a group?
And the PvP channel is like a dirty basement full of, like, sweaty men who just, like, work out and post pictures of their abs and, like, are
What?
very hostile.
Oh,
It's
I'm gonna check it out.
crazy. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you, Tettles. It was so
I'm here with Marvel, feral druid professional, famed Twitter user, known tweeter, key blaster, and cutting edge raider from the Royal Knights of Proudmore. What's up, Marvel?
Hey, what's going on?
This is kind of a corny way to start, but my first question for everyone is going to be, are we friends? Which I think we're
Yes, of
friends.
course we're
Yeah,
friends.
so I'll put
Narnar,
that part.
we weren't. I was thinking about this because we met, I think, last season or maybe even the season before then.
I
And
think
we, like,
season
we kind of
2.
sometimes hung out, but
Mm-hmm.
we've become, like, really good friends this season just through keys.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
We play, like, yeah, every day together.
Yeah, seriously. I was gonna say my story, and I know I've told it on stream and you've heard it before, but how I met my first memory of Marvel was a Nelth Slayer, I think like 25 or something. It was something where it was like actually it was like it was a spicy key. And I don't think I'd
Oh,
played with you before. And I remember being like, oh my god, we're playing Feral Druid. And I think Frost Mage or something. It was like we had always played like non-meta, but I was
some
like, who is this
ridiculous
Feral?
comp.
Oh no. I'm sure they're
Oh
good, but
god.
I was kind of like, And then
Yeah.
we're fighting the pack where you have to stop that guy from transforming. And I look at my cooldowns and I know that we don't have any stops. And then it suddenly gets rake stunned. And I'm like, what? And I check and she had shadow melded. It's on cooldown like a minute 58. I'm like, what the fuck? This Feral Druid is insane. I think I probably added you on BNet like during the run, but
You were
that
like,
was my
"Wow,
first
that's
impression.
amazing."
Yeah.
The meld rake is just
That's always the
now
stuff
it's
that I
now it's
look for. Like when I'm keying with
That's
people,
true.
like I keep an eye out for little things that people do, and I'm like, ooh. And if they do
Spicy.
like one or two of them in the key, I'm like, I'm gonna add this person. They're probably cool. So
Yeah.
it's my little story.
It's a fun story because, like,
Yep.
I do that all the time, and I feel like that's kind of a thing that all ferals should do.
Probably. It's probably like a common I just it like I don't play with a lot of ferals, and it was remarkable to me. So
Whoa, because it was like, "We're gonna die," and then
yeah,
suddenly
like
we
I
didn't
did the
die.
calculation and I calculated that we're fucked and the key's probably over. And then magic
Yeah.
cats come out and stun people. Okay,
You
so
don't
then
even
the
know what
next
ferals are capable of.
I know that's coming up later, but I'm gonna start with Miss Marvel the person is the chapter title, which won't be that long, but you know. So are you an only
Sure.
child? This comes up
No.
often. You're not. Okay. Are you the
No,
youngest child?
no,
Oh,
I'm an older sister to a brother.
nice.
He's, like, 3 years younger than me.
Okay.
And we were actually, like, really good friends growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we
Awesome.
fought a lot. He has scars from our fights because I was always bigger than him, and it's
Oh,
really funny now because as we got older, like, we stopped fighting as much, and that's when he started to get
yeah.
bigger than me.
Right,
So,
right,
as soon
right.
as he got bigger than me, we stopped fighting, and
Yep.
I would have started losing. So, it worked out really well.
Yeah, I went through the same thing with my older sister. She's 3 years older,
Oh,
and we would
I'm
fight
sorry.
all the time. She would like we had good times, bad times, whatever, but we would fight and she would like whatever, steal something from me, like push me around and stuff. And then I remember like
Yeah.
one day she was like slightly swinging on me, like slapping me kind of, like not like nothing crazy, but and I caught both of
Mhm.
her arms and we both like looked at each other and we realized that I could win now. And like
Oh,
we never
no.
touched each other again because she was just like, "Oh, I can't do this."
Oh,
Like
the
I
tables have
distinctly
turned.
remember like there were no words and we were just like, "Oh, this is no longer
Uh,
equal." Like
the
we can't.
dynamic has changed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
funny.
funny. And then I got prior approval to say that you live in Portland, so no one can come
Yes.
after me for doxing. But
No, I
did
say
you
it all
grow
the
up in
time.
Portland, or did you move there, or where did you grow up?
I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin,
Oh,
and
wow.
I moved to Portland, like, apparently 4 years ago. It feels like it's been, like, 6, but, I mean, COVID kinda messed up everything.
True. It's a bit of a time warp. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Um, what is a compliment that someone gave you that you still remember to this day? It could be something small, but I feel like everyone has, like, one little thing where they're like, "I'll never forget that." Is there
Yeah.
anything that comes to
There
mind?
is actually one that comes to mind. I was at work, and I worked at Geek Squad, so I had, like, the
Oh,
tie
nice.
and, like, the tight the button-up white shirt and stuff,
Sure, yeah.
and, I didn't wear, like, makeup or anything, and so I'm sitting across from this client, and she's, like, an older woman. She's, like,
Mhm.
she's probably, like, 65 or something, and she's just, like, staring at me, and I look at her, and she's like, "You are so beautiful, and you're not
Oh.
wearing any makeup." And she was just, like, amazed, and I was like, "Thank you, that is such a nice thing to say."
That's so
It was so
sweet.
random. Yeah.
Oh, I love stuff like that.
Yeah, especially, like, I like when, like, older women and, like,
Mm.
teen girls compliment me because that's when I know I'm, like, on point, you know?
Right, right, right. It's a genuine one for
Yeah.
sure. Um, what's on your desk, or what's normally on your desk, if you can
So
share?
much.
So
Yeah,
much?
so much. I actually have so many, like, little things. This is a vacuum.
What?
Yeah, look at
A
this. So I just to
vacuum?
flip it on, it's a little vacuum,
Oh my god.
and it's so cute.
That's so unexpected. Vacuum was not on my list of things I thought
Yeah,
would be on the
because
desk.
like, I get, like, crumbs and stuff on my desk,
Yeah,
or,
no,
like,
that's
dust.
awesome.
It's
Holy shit,
so
I love that.
sick. And then my
Nice.
roommate actually, is a bit of an artist, so they made this for
Oh,
me, which is like a little
that's
fox, because foxes are my
beautiful.
favorite animal. Yeah.
I love
I
it.
need, like, eyeliner on my finger, but
Very
it's
cute.
so nice. I also have, like, another fox. I really just like foxes. And then my
That's
roommate gave me
cool.
this, which is like a little dog that opens up.
Oh, wow.
I can't fit anything in here,
The only thing
but
I could think is, like, drugs, but
I could put drugs in
there
there.
you
Yeah, I
go.
could put Adderall in there. And
There
then
you
I have
go.
this rock from Aya. So at BlizzCon,
Hmm,
people were sharing friendship bracelets, and
okay.
Aya didn't have any bracelets made. You can't really tell the details.
It's okay. I'll ask you to send a picture on Discord, and I'll edit it
Yeah,
in post.
dude, this eyeliner
I
on
love
my finger.
rocks, though.
Yeah, it's so pretty. It's like a light pink too. It's like my favorite color.
Oh, is it like a
And
rose
so
quartz kinda deal?
yeah, it's got like some like gold. You can't tell.
Mm. Yeah, no, I got you.
It's
I
beautiful
think
though,
it's
and Aya gave it to
yeah.
me when I met Aya. Like, like Aya. She's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, I know her. I know of her, rather. That's cool.
She's
I
so
have a rose
funny.
quartz that I had when I was a kid, and I accidentally broke, or did I break it, or someone broke it in half, and I was so sad,
Oh.
and then I think it was my grandma or me, one of us dropped it, but somehow it broke, but I was, like, very sad, and then I decided to give her the other half, and I would keep half, and it was, like, our little friendship stone,
Aw.
and then, like,
That's cute.
10 years later, when she was moving, I was helping her move, and she had it, like, on a shelf in a little case, like, behind glass, and I still have mine too, so it's really cute.
Aw, she really cherishes that.
Yeah, she's a cutie. We love
Oh, wait, I
grandma.
I almost forgot, actually, I have this guy too.
Oh my, the Amogus. Did you
I
play
have a
Among
little
Us
emoji.
yesterday with them? Or the other, I forgot.
No.
Oh, okay.
I was
I saw
super
they were all
busy
playing.
when I got
I
into
was
it,
doing something
yeah.
else too.
It was
Gotcha.
with Burritos Guild, which is, like, I don't know
Oh,
them,
yeah,
so
yeah.
a
The
bit
Beach
weird.
Justice.
Beach
Yeah,
Justice.
I don't know a ton of them either. I think I ran with, like, the GM ones. I don't know.
I just
Do you normally game with all of your lights on in your room? Or are you a dark room gamer? If you're not streaming, of course.
Oh, almost never do I have all these lights on. I will
Mhm.
keep this light on until, like, midnight, and then I kinda
Yeah.
wanna, like, I turn it off so that my brain goes into nighttime mode, and then I
Right,
can
right.
sleep better later or whatever. But,
Okay.
if I'm feeling, like, really excited or, like, spicy, I'll turn on the lights and be like, "Look at how pretty my room is."
Yo, same. I have something behind me. I don't stream with a camera anymore, but I have this, like, fake plant grass wall with a bunch of, like, LEDs in it. And every now and then I
Yeah.
turn it on and I wanna feel
Oh,
fancy,
that's
but
cool.
whenever I start camera streaming again, it'll be lit,
Are
literally.
you gonna start doing that?
I think so. We'll see. I think having a talking bear on like a video podcast is weird. I also think it's weird for you to just be talking into the abyss. So eventually I have to, I don't know.
I'm used to it with
I go back
like
and forth. That's true.
'cause you and I like this is all I know you. Like how I know you. So
Right. True. Maybe I should screen share just my the bear moving because I see it on my OBS on my second monitor.
yeah, it just
It's an
feels like
idea
we're in
for
a
next
Discord
time.
call. So
Cool. That's good. That's kind of what I'm going for with the podcast or the show or whatever is like chilling and I don't know, like obviously talk about WoW stuff. Like this is like more of the personal chapter, but like kind of like a mix, half and half, like get to know your streamer or whatever, because I feel like people wouldn't
so
know that you just have a vacuum on your desk. Like and I don't know.
yeah,
Keeps
they wouldn't.
something different,
I
you
don't
know.
think I've shared that with anyone. I have way more also, but like I just don't want to take up like an hour
No,
showing you
you're
every
good.
little knickknack I have
You're
on my
good.
desk.
Cool. Speaking of streaming, do you have a pre-stream ritual of any kind? Anything you do to like get ready while you have like a starting soon screen on?
Um,
I don't know if you
I
do the
mean,
starting soon.
I don't do a starting soon. I used to, but
Hmm.
I found that I don't like the idea of somebody clicking on my stream and then being like, "Oh, she's not even like really live yet," and I
Right.
don't want to wait 15 minutes. So I
Yeah, that makes
stopped doing
sense.
that. Yeah. But I mean,
Gotcha.
I guess what I do is I go for a walk and I get like a coffee or a tea.
Nice. I like a walk before
Um,
streaming for sure.
yeah. I love a walk in the sun, especially if it's nice and sunny out.
Hmm.
I want to get I don't know. I feel better after that. I feel more social. I feel happier. So
Totally.
I love to sit down after that.
A quick walk gives me like such a big boost. It's a lot.
Yeah. It's so nice. It's like humans are made to like be in nature or whatever.
True.
Go
Fair.
outside a little,
This
touch a
just
little
in.
grass. So weird.
Hmm. Let's see. Fanboy or fangirl moment. Who made you nervous to play with or talk to, and does that still happen with anyone? Like, have you
This
ever
is a
joined a
little
queue with
embarrassing.
someone? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Um, I'm happy to share it. So I went to BlizzCon and
Hmm.
I met so many amazing people. I met basically every content creator that I wanted to meet. I met SFan, for example. I met SFan like three
Oh
different
yeah, I
times.
remember the pictures in the Discord.
Yeah, we like literally hung out at like off his stream and everything. And I wasn't
Oh, that's
nervous.
cool.
Might have been because I was a little drunk, but I was genuinely like really nervous to talk to Max for some reason.
Hmm.
Even though I'd talked to him before, but only because he's interviewed me before
Right.
because
For
he does
the
those like
feral stuff, right?
yeah,
I think I
yeah. So
remember that.
he does these like tier lists for anybody who doesn't know. He does like these tier lists and he brings on
Hmm.
people who play specs who are just like normal people.
Hmm.
And like he brings me on for the feral stuff. So I talk about how feral's looking for the next like whatever.
Hmm.
And
That's so cool.
so when it was I went to we landed in BlizzCon. I was already like feeling nerves, right? So it was like before BlizzCon was starting. You know, we had
Hmm.
just landed and I wasn't like warmed up socially, I guess. So like I was hanging out with Elismir and Teddles, who I was meeting for the first time, and he was already being mean to me. And
Wait, who Ellesmere or Tettles?
Teddles.
Oh shit.
Teddles. He does this thing where he's just
Oh,
like,
because he
"Do
plays
you still play
Moonkin.
Feral Druid?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, do you still play Balance Druid? Like, what do you
And you're like a
mean?"
known balance hater as well.
I
There's probably
am,
some
yeah, and
tension there. That's
yeah, and
funny.
he's just a hater of either me or Feral, I can't tell, but no, he doesn't actually hate me, we're fine.
Yeah, I
We're
know, I
cool.
know.
But, I'm sitting there, and then I was like, "Oh, that's Max right there," and he's, like, in a circle with all of his liquid friends. That might be what made
Hmm.
me nervous. It's 'cause he was with all of his friends,
Right.
and, Elismir Kendall was like, "You wanna talk to him?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't wanna, like, bother him because he was, like,
Right.
with all of his friends, you know, and
Got
I
the
don't
whole
wanna, like,
squad.
interrupt and be like I don't want them all to look at me, you know?" But
Hmm.
so, yeah, he was like Elismir basically, like, pushed me in his direction. He was like, "Just talk to him," and, like, pushed me
Oh.
into Max, and then suddenly I'm, like, looking up, and I'm, like, right next to him, and he looks at me and is like, "Hey," and I was like, it was so awkward, and now I know all of his friends are looking at me, and I'm like,
Right.
"Hi, I'm MissMarvel, the feral druid who's on your stream sometimes," and he's like, "Oh, hey, it's nice to meet you," and I'm like, "Yeah," and then he's like, "Okay, anyway," and then, like, I was just like, "I wanna die, I wanna die, I wanna die,"
That's so
'cause,
funny.
like, it was
BlizzCon
so awkward.
has gotta be some of, like, the funniest social interactions because it's just, like, a bunch of, like, gamers, and then they're all it's like, there's not even, like, people that are I mean, I'm sure there's people that are extroverted gamers too, but it's like I kinda depend on, like, chatty people to, like, carry me in conversation and, like, open me up a little bit, and then I can kinda, like, go with the flow, but, like, I'm really bad at like, I wouldn't be able to just walk up to someone and be like, "Hey, it's me."
Yeah.
I mean,
So
maybe,
I
but
am an extroverted
oh,
gamer,
okay.
right? I'm very extroverted. Like I said, I walked up to every single content creator and I had like a
True,
big
yeah.
list. I have like 20 people. And I went up to all of them and I was totally chill. I was like, "Hi, I'm Marvel. I don't know if you've heard of me. I tweet a lot." And and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are." Except for Annie Fuchsia. She's like, no, I've never heard of you." And I was
Aw.
like, "That's okay. That's fine."
Well, now
It,
you
it, it was
do.
just so weird, yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
But, like, if
Well,
you ever wanna meet someone, just tell me, cause like,
tell you
I
okay,
made
you'll be my
yeah.
guest booker.
Yes, I did this
Nah.
for Gromnak,
Oh,
cause
really?
Gromnak wanted to meet S-Fan, and I was like, "Just go talk to him," and he's like, "Oh,
Hmm.
I don't wanna," and I'm like, "Okay, let's go," and I, like, brought Gromnak onto S-Fan's stream, and they actually got along really well, so,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
That's like I used to go to a lot of raves and concerts when I was younger,
Oh. Oh,
and
that's
you
right,
seem
you
like
were a
one
party
of the
boy.
best people to go to a rave with. You'd make all the friends for me.
Oh, yeah.
You're
I
like,
love
"Oh my
making
god,
friends.
I love your shirt," and then everyone's best friends.
Yes. Yes, that's the
Cool.
way to do it, too.
Alright, we're switching to Marvel in-game chapter.
Mm.
When did you start playing, and when did you really start getting into, like, harder content and, like, mythic rating and stuff like that?
Ooh, that's a good question, actually,
Thanks.
because it does feel like there are 2 chapters to when you start WoW
Yeah.
and then when you
Mhm.
actually start playing WoW.
Right.
Um, so I actually tried to play WoW 3 times, and the
Okay.
last time it actually finally stuck. Because the first time I tried it, um, I think I think I just gave it a shot. I think I was just like, "Let's just try this video game," and so I made a Draenei mage, which is so
Yo,
unlike me,
same.
as you know. Wait, really?
Named
Was that your first
Veronica
game?
after this girl in my
Oh,
math class.
aw.
She was very it wasn't because of the appearance or anything. I don't know, it just reminded me of her. I think it was the hair maybe.
Yeah,
Not the
yeah,
hooves or
it's a nice
anything like
name
that.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Sorry, so Draenei Mage.
yeah, I made a Draenei mage, and I made it to, like, Blood Mist Isle, and I got so bored. It
Mm,
was, like, the most boring thing, like, I don't know if it was, like, mage or Blood Mist or both.
Blood
Also, like,
Mist
very few
Isle.
people around.
Is that like the
Yeah.
level 10 Draenei, or is that like 6 to 10? I'm trying to remember Blood
It's
Mist Isle.
it's the 2nd, so there's Azure Mist, which is all blue, and then there's Blood Mist, which is all red.
Yeah, okay, okay.
And you're
Gotcha. So
kind of
probably
still
around
in,
like
like, the
10-ish, I
Draenei.
think. Yeah,
Probably, yeah,
gotcha. One of the
yeah.
beginning. It's like the second part of Teldrassil for Night Elves, I guess. Or
Yes,
Darkshore?
yeah, like
Yeah.
that.
Okay,
Something
gotcha.
like that, yeah, but it was
Yeah,
so fucking boring, I
yeah.
just stopped playing. I was like, "This game sucks." And then,
Gotcha.
later, I had, like, a falling out with my friends, and I was watching The Guild with Felicia Day at the time. Like, I just started watching The Guild with Felicia Day. Do you know what that is?
I don't know. Is it on
So,
Netflix? Was it like a
I
YouTube
think it
show?
is. It was a YouTube show, but I think they put it on Netflix. But
Okay,
yeah,
I
it's
think I
basically
watched part of
Felicia
it, yeah.
Day, yeah. And she basically it's about WoW. Like,
Mhm.
she has a guild in WoW of, like, 6 people, and they're called, like, the Knights of Good or something,
Okay.
and, I was like, "Wow, they're all such good friends, and they're hanging out together, and that's what I want." Because like, I just had a falling out with my friends. I wanted a group of
Right.
friends, so I was like, "I'm gonna play WoW." And
Mhm.
so I made a Blood Elf Hunter, and I actually quite liked it, but I just, like, stopped playing after a little bit.
Mhm.
But, so it didn't stick the 2nd time, but the 3rd time, I finally logged in to WoW again for some reason, I don't know, and I saw that there was a new race that were werewolves, and I was like, "That is
Follow-up
so
questions.
fucking cool." I was
Nice.
like, "Mom, it won't let you play the werewolf, the worgen, basically, unless you buy Cataclysm." So I was like, "Mom,
Oh, that's right.
I need to buy the game." And I was like, "Mom, I need to play this game. I need to play a werewolf. Like, you can play a werewolf this game, Mom. It's so cool." And she was like, "Really?" Because it's like $60 or whatever. And I was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
please." And then and then
Yo,
there
it
was also a
wasn't cheap,
subscription.
being a kid playing WoW is, like, it was 15 back then per month for the
Yeah,
subscription, like, 15
it's
now
yeah,
is very different than 15 back then, especially when you're a kid, and you have to be like,
yes.
"Hey, I need to use, like, an adult's credit card," even if you have your own money from, like, whatever you have money from, but, like, yeah,
15 a
I
month is
I
a lot.
remember that. I remember my mom being like, "This is not something I don't know about this, like, can't you
I
just
hope you
play
really
another
like it.
game?" Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry to cut
So,
you
like
off though, but yeah.
yeah, no, you're fine. $15 is a lot, though. Thankfully,
Mhm.
my parents were, like, okay, financially, so, like, I bullied my mom into it, and
Yeah.
I saw that there was a class that wasn't available on the other 2 races I had tried before, that was Druid, and they were a shapeshifter,
Oh,
and I was like, I could be
yes.
like Beast Boy in Teen Titans.
Hell
That
yeah.
is so cool, he was my favorite. So I got so into it, like, I played the hell out of it, and I remember I know that was the end of Cataclysm when I tried it, because I went to Stormwind for the first time, and in trade chat, somebody said, "Have you guys or what do you guys think of the new expansion Pandaria?" And I was like,
Hmm,
"What's that?" So I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, there's a new expansion." So I know it was, like, the end of Cata that, you
okay,
know, that I started. But I was very casual. I don't think I made it to max level until the end of Mists of Pandaria.
gotcha. So I never
And then
I played the original, I think right before it turned into BC, and then I played
okay,
some Wrath. So my first tune technically it wasn't I don't remember my other tunes, I only remember the Draenei Mage as my first one. I probably made,
so
like,
sick.
6 different Night Elves because I just love Night Elves. I love the Starting Zone so much. It's, like, my favorite.
Yeah.
It's my desktop background is, like, a AI generated Teldrassil with the giant
Oh,
tree in and stuff. I'll put it in
fun.
post maybe if I remember. Um, but yeah, and then I stopped. So I never played Kata or Miss or anything like that, and then I came back in BFA. So I
Ooh,
was gone for this section.
you were gone for a lot of the, like, really good expansions. Actually, all of them.
Apparently. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Legion was pretty cool.
Yeah, people like Wrath, Mop, and Legion. You
Hmm.
missed all 3?
Wrath
But
was good.
Dragonflight
See,
was
I
also
was
good.
like yeah, I was, like, so young that I didn't know what was going on. I was getting, like, kicked out of groups for reasons I didn't understand, probably because I was doing no damage or
Yeah.
something. I was, like I think at one point I was playing a druid, but I was putting on cloth gear because it looked cooler. I was like, "I'm healing. I wanna be, like, wearing a robe," or like, I had no idea. I didn't know stats. I was
Yeah.
probably
Oh,
wearing, like,
that's so
agility gear or
classic.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I have it's very fuzzy that whole time, but I had, like, 2 friends. I had a bunch of friends that played, like, IRL friends, maybe, like, 5, and then, like,
Wow.
1 or 2 of them would play a lot, and we were kinda, like, best friends on the game, so it was
That was in
a cool
Classic or that
time.
was in BFA?
Sorry, that was, in Classic, I wanna say, like, BC Wrath times. It was a fun time.
Yeah, that's when it was actually popular. Because I was gonna say,
Mhm.
it's crazy if you had, like, 5 WoW friends in BFA.
Yeah, I think I was in, like, 5th or 6th grade, so it was, like, right around the age
Yeah.
where, like, you can dump, like, an infinite amount of time into, like, playing a game because 'cause you're not, like, old enough where you wanna, like, go out and party or anything. I don't know,
Yes.
it was a cool era, I
I
guess.
remember I was in, like, art class in probably 7th grade, and there was a girl, she was a really cool, like, emo girl, she wear, like, super cool clothing and everything,
Mhm.
and I remember she was wearing a World of Warcraft shirt. This
Oh.
is so funny. I looked at her, and I looked at the shirt, and I was like, "World of Warcraft? Isn't that game for boys?"
Oh, no.
And she was like, "No, there are a lot of girls who play WoW." I was like, "Okay."
That's so funny. You should call her and be like, "I'm a WoW streamer now."
I know, dude. It's like, this is
Yo,
my
I
life
had
now.
there was a girl in my class named Leah who I didn't think I don't know if I, like, knew I was gay yet or not, but I, like, kinda had a crush on her, I guess, because she was so cool. She was, like, a tomboy and would, like, play WoW. She played a
Oh,
Tauren, though, so we couldn't play together. But I
okay.
remember being like, "Oh my god, Leah's so cool. She's a max level Tauren."
Ooh.
But I
That's
was,
so
like, afraid to talk to
fun.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, the girl's name was Kat. I think it was short for, like,
Mm,
Catherine or something.
nice. So when did you
Uh,
join your raiding guild then?
yes,
Or
so
the Royal
the
Knights?
first oh, okay, so
Or
I
the first
started
one, if you
raiding at
want, yeah.
Hellfire Citadel
Okay.
because there was this whole thing where, like, I hated my realm. Like, you just go into trade chat and it was just racist slurs. And so I
Right.
was like, I wanna go to a realm that's cool. and I was looking for realms. I was thinking like Stormage or Lightbringer or something, and then I saw that Proudmore is like the known LGBT realm, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, that's really cool. I'm gonna go there." Like, I'm just dropping everything. I'm going there. Um, and I started raiding in Hellfire Citadel with a guild called Darkest Legion or something.
Hmm.
And then I went to Risen, which is like a really old, like classic Proudmore guild. Like if you played in classic on Proudmore, you would recognize that guild. And I used
Okay.
to get like whispers from people who were like, "This guy, that guild is still around," and I'm like, "Yeah, we even raid." Like
That's
super cool because
cool.
they would get like realm first and everything back in like Cata or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Um.
Do you think that it's a coincidence that it's called Proudmore, like pride? Or do you think how do you think that happened? I've always wondered.
So there is a story. I remember reading about it. There's a story to why Proudmore is the LGBT realm, and it had
Okay.
nothing to do with the name, as far as I know. That's just a
Oh, okay.
crazy coincidence. Do you want me to tell the
Yeah.
story?
Sure, yeah.
So I'm gonna get some details wrong because I read
That's
this like
fine.
10 years ago. But so basically there was a guild that was advertising as LGBT friendly back in like MOP, I think it was,
Hmm.
and they got reported for that, and Blizzard like
Oh, wow.
punished them for that because they're like, don't mention sex things in World of
Sure.
Warcraft trade chat. And they like Reddit and the forums went fucking wild over it because they're like,
Huh.
that is not sexually related. Like it
Right,
is
right.
like that's like they went fucking crazy. They were like, that should they should be allowed. They should be okay
Yeah,
with
it's,
them
like,
like
better for the
advertising these things.
community to be like,
Yeah,
"Hey, like, this is the kind of space that we're trying to make here," than, like,
yeah,
that's, like,
exactly.
what WoW's about is, gathering folks and building
Absolutely.
friendships and
Yeah.
stuff. That's cool,
So
so they changed their Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, the Blizzard had to change their entire terms of service because of this one guild on
Hmm.
Proudmore. Um, and then like people started changing realms to go join that guild because they knew it was like an LGBT friendly guild and it was like the
Right.
one, you know?
And it got,
And
like,
then
all
it
this
just
publicity from the
yeah,
Right.
yeah, it
That's
went
so
super
cool.
crazy public and everybody just started going to Proudmore. And I think it helped that the name was Proudmore because
Mhm.
people, I mean, it's just easy to associate that, with like pride and stuff.
Right.
Speaking of which, it is Pride Month,
Yeah, happy
so it
Pride
works.
Month.
Yeah, happy Pride. I'm also
That's so
gay.
cool. Yo, same. My husband's gay.
Whoa, you have
I
a
say
gay
that
husband?
yeah, actually he's bi, but whatever.
Oh,
I
okay.
say that, when people say something that's, like, mildly, like, could be taken the wrong way against gay people or whatever, I'll be like, "Hey, hey, chill, my husband's
My
gay."
husband's
And
gay.
they're
That's
like
so fucking funny.
right away like, "Oh, sorry," and then they kinda calculate, they're like, "Wait, what?" Like, "Why would you say it like that?" It's, like, my go-to. It kinda
Yeah,
eases
because 'cause
the
you're, like,
tension as
defending your
well.
husband. Yeah,
Right. Like, I don't care
that's
about me,
funny.
you can offend me, but my husband's
Yeah.
gay.
Yeah, yeah. My gay husband would take offense to this.
Right. Okay. I kinda know the answer, but do you enjoy other aspects of the game, like transmog, mounts, achievements, stuff like that? And what's
Yeah.
your, like, favorite mount that you've got? Or
So,
anything achievement-wise?
when I started like, seriously playing the game was about WoD, like I said. So, I saw a mount that I really wanted, and it was the Heavenly Azure Cloud Serpent. And I
Mm.
looked up how to get it because like blue and white was like my favorite color combo. I was like, that is a beautiful mount. I need it. And it said you need 300 mounts to get that mount. And I had like
Oh.
24.
Yeah, I
And
probably have, like, 50 right now.
yeah, exactly. That's where about I was. So I was like,
Mhm.
okay, so I need to start mount farming. And I just got like so deep into it. And like just seeing that number go up one by one by one was it just like gave me so much dopamine.
Nice.
And I did end up getting that mount in, like, the Enda Legion, which was really, really exciting for me because 'cause I'd been working toward that for a couple of years.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah, I'd say my favorite mount, oh gosh, I'd have to look at because I have, like, all my favorited mounts favorited in game. That is
Gotcha.
one of my favorite mounts. I also really like, any foxes, any like, I love drakes. I
Hmm.
a Nurelos, the mythic Farok mount, is actually
Oh, that's right.
so good, but
The
I
bird
think a part of
form.
it is just that it's the mythic rock mount.
Right. True. Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. It is a sick mount, though. I remember before
S
I knew what it was, whenever I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." and I didn't.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't know a
nothing
lot
like it
about
in
ratings, so
game.
it took me a little while to notice. I was like, "Oh, I think I was like, oh, I should try to get that mount." Oh, it's mythic.
Oh,
Never mind.
oh,
I'm
okay,
good.
yeah,
It is a very cool
yeah.
mount, and I love stealing your bird form before we go into keys
Oh, yeah.
and
Make
then
everyone
passing
the
it
fuck.
around. Yeah, we got to keep one bird form active so we can steal it when people die. It's like keep the flame, you know.
It's fun because like, I don't steal the form because, like, I prefer to be a cat just because
Yes,
like,
I
the
don't do it on my
animations would throw me
druid.
off. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
So it's funny that
absolutely
I'm the one that the form came from, but everybody around me is the bird, and
right.
I'm not the bird, and
We're
I
just
just have a bunch of bird
imposters.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hate when people change my appearance on my druid. It is such like a core part of my gameplay to like
yeah.
see that I'm in bear form. Like even if I know I'm in bear form and I have a weak aura that's like, yo, you're not in bear form and you're guardian druid or whatever. Like I'm every 2 seconds I go, oh my god, I'm not in bear form. Like so
Yeah.
I know what you
Well,
mean.
it also I don't know if this happens for Guardian Druid, but there's an issue with Feral Druid where if you use a transformation toy,
Hmm.
there's there are 2 parts to a sound animation. It's when it's cast and when it impacts the target. And
Okay.
for some reason, when a Feral Druid at least is transformed, the sound of your spell hitting the target takes like an extra second. So
Oh,
I'll press this spell and you'll hear it like sort of go off, but it doesn't sound like it hit. It sounds like you got
right.
parried or something, you know?
So it
So it's
feels
like
like
I
you're
press
just
it
lagging
again.
the whole time almost. Like it feels
Yeah.
off, like
Or
sensory.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I cast Rip and I'm like, oh, Rip didn't go off. So I cast it again and it's like,
Oh,
oh, well,
right.
I
Like
just
it feels
replace
like,
it
oh,
with
I
a
don't have enough
with
energy
my
or
Rip.
whatever. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it fucks
that's
me up
weird.
so
That
bad.
would bother
Yeah.
me for sure.
I can't do it. I
Speaking of
need the sound
feral,
effects. Mhm.
I don't see this video. Well, this question's a little out of order, but in an alternate universe, if your spec didn't exist, feral,
Mm.
obviously, what do you think you would have ended up playing? Or do you think you would just be like, fuck this game, I'm out?
I don't I wonder if I would have, like, stuck to the game without Druid because the fantasy of shapeshifting is so cool to me,
Yeah.
and there are almost no games like, I can't think of a single game where shapeshifting is, like, a part of your class, and, like,
Yeah, I
in
don't
such
know.
a way. You just don't see that, and I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
I might have tried I mean, now I know that I like warrior, so I was gonna say warrior, but I don't think I would have played warrior. Maybe,
Hmm.
like, shaman or something?
Okay. At least you get the wolf
When
form, the raptor form,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little
for sure. I
something.
guess there's that, yeah. But also just, like, I don't know, I think it's a cool class. I know that I really wanted to play Demon Hunter when Demon Hunter came out because, Demon Hunters are based on actually Illidan's kit in Heroes of the Storm. So,
Oh,
they got,
I
like
didn't know that.
Demon Hunter's entire kit is inspired by Illidan and Hots, and he was my main. Like,
Hmm.
I played, like, 6,000 games on that guy.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So what are your favorite couple things about playing Feral? Obviously the shape shifting is epic. Is there
It is
anything
pretty
else that fits like do you like dealing bleed damage? Do you like being like a stealth class? Does anything else like that interest you or
I I like mobility a
okay.
lot. Like, if I can go fast, if I can just be wherever the fuck I wanna be right away, I'm
Mhm.
happy with that. I don't actually this is gonna be sacrilege to some people, but I'm not attached to, like, bleeds as a playstyle.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Like, I like it enough that I play it as my main, but, I think, like, if it wasn't bleed based, I'd still play it, but people would be really angry about that, so that's not gonna happen. No, but yeah,
Gotcha.
I like stealth. Stealth, like, I hate when I have to stop and fight things that I don't need. Like, I hate it. So, like, if I
Hmm.
can just prowl around them, I am so
Oh,
happy.
yeah, I love it. Whenever an expansion comes out, my druid is the first. My druid's always like my main in my heart, but then I play like other stuff.
Yeah.
Like obviously I love playing Og if I'm like in a group of friends or something, but like when an expansion launches, it's always druid first. I stealth around, I shadow meld mobs, I root things, I loot and then I run away. Like
Yes.
it's so good.
I
It's
learned
like,
that trick recently because I was
"Oh
always a
yeah?
worgen. So, like, I
Oh,
didn't know
that's
the night elf
right."
tag.
Yep. It's nice. You're just like, "All right, I'm going to vortex this, I'm gonna root this,
Yeah.
typhoon this, loot, and then cat form dash meld, and then flap away." It's just like very
So good.
satisfying.
I don't have to fight
Um,
anything.
have you ever pretended to be a moonkin in order to join a group?
You know, so many people actually do this. It's
I've done
so
it. I've played Feral in like 5 keys last season,
oh my
and I
god.
stood there in boomkin form the whole time until the key went in because I was
That is
afraid.
so brave. My biggest fear is people being mean to me on the
Yeah.
internet. So,
Oh
like, if
shit.
if I pretended I was a moonkin and then, like, went into cat form, I would be my heart would be pounding, dude. I'd be like, "Please don't say anything. Please don't say anything." I've never done that, just like, I would have because I really wanted to do keys, but the only thing
Yeah.
stopping me was that people would be mean to me, so I didn't.
Gotcha. That's funny. Have you this kind of goes to the next question. Have you ever been like invited to a group and then kicked out because you're
Oh, yeah.
playing Druid? Yeah. Oh, I mean playing Feral
Shadowlands, that
rather.
happened almost every single time I was invited.
No. Oh, because that was
Yeah.
before. I don't know if it's built in game or if it's an add-on I have, but I can like see their spec when they apply.
Yeah. It
So
was
they
I
would
don't
just
think
see
that was as
Druid.
popular. Yeah.
Right.
They just
That's
assumed because
funny.
who plays Feral, you know?
Right. Right.
And
Right.
Moonkin was, like, extremely meta with, the vent theory ability,
Yeah.
and, like, it was just, like, I'd get invited, I'd be like, "Yes, finally, I'm so excited." I'd be saying hi to everyone, I'd be putting up consumes, I'd be like, you know, like, "I'm gonna go to the dungeon," and then I'd get
Right.
kicked
Shit. That's the
all the time.
worst.
Yeah, it happened to me actually in Dragonfly, like, a couple months ago, and it
Really.
really pissed me off because Feral was better than Moonkin at the time.
Right. Feral's like fine. Feral's good. Like
Feral's
we
good, it
do
has
keys, you're
better
blasting.
defense. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Does
better
a ton of
defenses,
damage,
right? It
better
has a
defense,
melee
like, it's
kick, still has the
yeah,
battle
melee
res, still has the innervate, still has all the druid shit.
yeah.
Like
It's literally better than Moonkin. I mean, not right now, it might not be, but in
someone ping
season 1 it
Tettles. Yeah,
was. Yeah, fuck you, Tettles. It was so funny actually after that encounter with Tettles, you know,
sure.
teasing me for playing Feral because then, like, Boomkin was not played in the Race to World First except for on console. Like,
Damn.
Feral was played in the last, like, 3 bosses by every single Race to World First,
Oh wow,
guild. Yeah. We were
that's pretty
meta.
sweet.
Yeah.
So what is
Where was Tettles?
something? It was Tettles. Um. So when I play with like whoever I play with, I always like to understand their spec, and I don't play with a lot of feral druids. But I obviously there's some specs like fire mage, they have SKB, like they don't want to be standing around, they need to pull with it or something like that. Like some rogues need to re-stealth between the pulls, shadow priests want you to chain. Like is there anything with feral that do you need to re-stealth before the pull? Would you rather they just
Um,
chain one mob into the next?
I so like stealthing between pulls is nice, I guess, for Feral because our stealth rake does
Hmm.
do a lot more damage than a regular rake, but it's not that big of a deal. And the most annoying part of it is that it stuns the target.
Right,
So
so you're
when the
trying to
tank is
group
running
up a
full,
pull.
yeah,
Yes, I've seen
yeah.
that
So
a
I just
bit.
have to either sit in stealth and wait for everything to be grouped already. Everybody's already blasting, or I just like open with a
Right.
boom slash and just like give up on the stealth rake idea.
Okay,
So
so
I'm
it
not like
doesn't
super
really.
attached to that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I do prefer that we like if we're not, you know, stealthing between packs. Like I think just chain pulling, always
Hmm.
having a lot of targets is really good for Feral, at least in Dragonflight.
Okay, good to
Yeah.
know. Are ferals like target capped in any way? Like I think swipe is target capped, but primal wrath isn't, or something. Is there
Um
any limitations
Primal
around the spec?
Primal Wrath is not target capped. I think it's soft capped. All of our
Oh, okay.
spells are a little bit soft capped, but I think Primal Wrath is the one. Maybe the initial. I think it's the initial hit of Primal Wrath is soft capped, but like the rips on everything are doing maximum damage,
Okay.
and
So like the
that hits
bleed
everyone.
application is not capped,
Yes,
but like whatever instant damage effect is attached to it, it might be like soft cap or
yes,
something.
yeah.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure
that's
that's
good.
it. I'm pretty
That
sure
makes sense.
it's really nice to have
We'll go
this
with
like
it.
bleed sticking on everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It is very I haven't played it a lot, but I think I'm just bad at melee. I think if I liked melee, I would definitely play feral. But one thing I did like, I think it must have been a while ago, because I would get like infinite bite procs. Like
Yeah.
I would apply my, I think rakes or rips or whatever. I put my bleeds
Primal
out,
Wrath. Yeah.
and then I would just like every other global was
Bite,
like a
bite, bite,
bite
bite, bite.
proc, like crazy,
Yeah.
which was very satisfying. But I could
They
see
did
that
nerf
being
them.
really overwhelming. Yes, because the next time I played it, I didn't have them nearly as much. I made a little
So
weak
they
aura to pop up and everything.
Yeah, yeah, I had that too. So they lowered the amount that the bite procs in like large amounts of AoE and in like cleave like 2 or 3 targets or like under 5. I think they increased the amount it procs, so it's kind of just like equalized.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you still get it in low target counts, but in high target counts, you're not just like spamming bite. I guess is
Yeah,
what they went
yeah,
for.
or like you
Okay.
don't have the opportunity to spam bite, which kind of sucks because
Right.
funnel was fun.
Yeah,
Like
funnel is
when
nice.
when we the first boss of Ruby Life Pools, I forget her name, Meladrusa, the whelps come out, you would hit Primal Wrath and then just spam bite on Meladrusa and break her
Oh,
shield. Yeah,
yeah. That would be
that was
awesome.
nice.
That
But you
sounds
wouldn't do as
good.
much damage because hitting Primal Wrath does more. So if you wanted to
Right.
pad, you would just press Primal Wrath.
Yeah, I know. That's such like a pug thing. That's what I love about playing with a group of friends is like you can just explain like, hey, I'm gonna do insane boss damage, but I'm not like
Yeah,
during that poll in like a pug, you'll see like just rain of fire, like flame striking, like everyone's spending like AoE. And then
but the boss
sometimes
isn't
there's
dying.
one person. Yeah, exactly. It's like we have a job to do here, and like these ads don't really matter, but everyone's so afraid of someone being like, why is your damage so low? So
Yep.
people just pad on AoE and stuff. But it's nice to
That's
at
why
least
I
have the
only play with
choice.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's why I love playing with, like, you and Leanne and everybody.
Hmm.
Because like,
It's so
if
much
my
nicer.
damage
Like
is low, you
pugs is
probably
scary.
know why. Yeah. Hate
Right, right.
pugs.
I don't even really look at. I guess I kind of glance at the end. I'm like, oh, like what was our overall like? But I rarely check like my friend's damage. I can kind of just feel like, oh,
Yeah.
this boss is taking a long time. Like if you, I don't know what single target should be like if it's 100 or 300k. Like I literally don't know.
Yeah,
But
for sure. I
I
even
don't
I
know. I
don't
just
really
kind of
mess with
feel it
it.
out. Yeah.
Mhm. As long
Um.
as everything's dying fast enough, we know we're doing the right thing.
Yes. I'm gonna go to bonus questions and then we're gonna circle back to War
Okay.
Within.
Ooh.
Um. Hold on. I'm gonna edit this part out. Okay. Actually, community questions. So multiple people have asked me, and I've been told I was supposed to open with this question. But are Worgans supposed to have tails? And also, do they have tails? Because I don't know.
Worgans do not have tails.
Okay, but they should, according to
They
you.
should have tails because they would look better with tails,
Okay.
and, like, they're wolf people. I think it just looked better, but
Because wolves
also
have tails. It does make
wolves have
sense.
tails, and some werewolves, like Skyrim werewolves, also have tails. But,
Okay.
the way that this is somebody made this point because if you go to the WoW forums and you go to the general discussion, like the main forums, and you click on top threads of all time, make sure you set it to all time. The
Okay.
most popular post or the most popular thread of all time is my thread that's just called Give Work and Tales.
No way.
And and the description of it is just Give Work and Tales. And that had I think it reached 17,000 replies. It's still
Oh my
active to
god.
this day. Yeah. Thing is, they recently changed something on the forums, so if anything has over 5,000 replies, the system automatically makes a new thread because it doesn't wanna,
Oh,
like, handle, like, a really big thread. So,
sure.
they actually like, my thread is over now. This happened, like, 3 weeks
Oh
ago.
no.
I'm so
Oh
sad because this has
god.
been going for, like, 4 years.
Right. Because people that I didn't even know knew who you were. Well, one person, I shouldn't say people, but he brought it up. And I'm like, how do you know Marv? What the fuck? I didn't even
She's the
ask,
Worgen
but
Tales girl.
that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's back when I played War again. And,
Nice. I like
so
that.
people on that thread made the point that, like, with the shape of their legs is like a dog leg where it's like, it's
Yeah.
weirdly shaped, and
Right.
it doesn't make sense that they're able to balance with just those legs. Like, a tail is, like, for balance, I guess,
Oh.
and so
Yeah.
it would just be more realistic as well.
Because I've never thought about it and I've never played a Worgen, but if you asked me if they had tails, I'd be like, I think so. Because
Probably,
it would,
yeah.
in my head, it makes sense.
Yeah. It's so
Interesting.
funny, so
Okay.
many people are like, "Wait, they don't have tails?"
Right.
Like, you are not the only
The
one.
problem we didn't know we had.
Yeah.
We're like, hold up. All right.
I only knew because
Worgen's
I played one
tails.
for, like, 8 years or whatever.
Yeah, and you're just staring at it from behind, so you're constantly like, "Where the fuck is
Yeah.
my tail, man?"
Yeah, want a tail. I want a cute swingy tail.
My friend Cliff asked, and I don't really know what this means, but do you embrace the feral druid mentality in everyday life? I don't know if he means if you're
Oh.
running around slashing people. I hope not, but I don't know what that means, but I just
I
figured
mean,
I'd ask because they
I
asked.
consider myself a pretty feral person.
Oh shit.
Like, just, like, when I get really excited, like, I'm very excited,
Okay.
and I'm just, like, I start screaming and not literally just, like, hollering at the top of my lungs, but, like, I'm a very, like, heart on my sleeve, very open person,
Sure.
very social, and so I consider myself pretty feral, especially if I've had a drink, I'm just,
Nice.
like, I'm all over people. I'm like, "Oh my god, come here, go look at this, look at that, look at this." I don't know.
Cool.
I'm just a
Okay,
feral
maybe a good
person.
question though. I was like, I don't know if I want to ask this because I don't know what that means, but good question. Thank
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
Cliff.
might as well.
Yeah. Okay. Another question from the community. As a feral main, how many times has she been called a furry? Is she one? How does she combat these allegations? If not, do Worgans need tails? And why is the answer yes? Okay, so this was kind of already covered. I don't know if I call it an
Yeah,
allegation,
the
but I
allegations.
the allegations.
The furry
Do people?
allegations.
Yeah, do you get furry allegations?
Yes, all the time.
Same. When I first got
Do
this
you?
avatar, I got people were like,
Oh,
"Oh, the furry."
oh yeah.
I'm like,
Me
I'm
too.
furry neutral. I don't know any furries. I don't have any problems with nobody. I'm not
No,
gonna
because
pose as a
okay,
furry. Doesn't
like
bother
that's
me.
just an animal though. A furry is like an anthropomorphic like creature, like animal.
Okay.
Like it stands on two legs and has two arms, right? You just have an
Oh,
animal. That's not even a furry. That's just you just have an
right. I
animal.
don't
It's
even
your
have
animal.
arms. You wanna see some behind this oh, wait, you can't see my screen. I'll show it to you after, but my talking guy is basically just a floating head. If
Yeah,
I
I mean,
pull him,
so is my yapping cat, right?
yeah.
But it's just a cat. It's not a furry thing. Although
Right,
playing
right.
Morgan is very suspicious also. Um, I will say I consider myself an ally to the furries. I've had many furry friends. In fact, I all my roommates are furries.
Oh, wow, okay.
And all that being a furry is just like
They
having
bust
like
in right now. You
a
talking about me?
character. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh God. It just
Yeah,
means like you just have like a character that's an
okay.
animal that like you feel represents you. I think
Cool.
is it, or like you just enjoy like other people's drawings of their animal characters. Like
Nice.
it's nothing
That sounds
else,
chill.
Yeah,
Cool,
and
cool.
like I've met like kids who considered themselves fairies. Like
Okay.
I don't know, it's just such an innocent thing. They're like, "Oh yeah, look at my superhero like animal
Yeah.
character. She can do like fire breath or whatever." And it's like, "That's so cool. You're using your imagination in a nice way." Like it's I don't know. It's so innocent. It's so wholesome.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Bonus
I'm not
question.
myself a furry. Although I'm
Right.
not I wouldn't be ashamed of it, and I'm certainly not offended by people who might
Right.
be.
That's why I say I'm like furry neutral. I'm not insulted by the implication, but I'm not going to I'm not. So I'm not going to like speak
Yeah.
on behalf of them or anything.
You're also an ally.
Yeah, there you
Happy Pride Month.
go. There you go. Let's see, where do we go next? We already covered the Worgen Tales. You competed in Eve Ascension, right? Last previous seasons? Okay. What was that
The
like?
first season.
The first season. Okay. What was that like? And how do you think that went? Like, you're not competing this time, I guess, but we have friends that are competing. I don't know a lot about Eve. I was gonna look into it because I want to watch, obviously, when Jess
Mhm.
and I's and stuff are playing. But was that your first like competitive kind of thing, like for keys, or what was I don't know, just
Yes.
was it a
I
cool experience?
yes. Yes, it was my first. Um, and I don't think I've done it since. So I definitely wanted I think we're on season 3 now. So I did season 1, and I did it with just a couple of girls from like Twitter and stuff. I think I knew one of them pretty well. My memory's a little fuzzy on it. It
Okay,
feels like it was so
all good.
long ago, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
I remember so Eyelash and Ferris were two of the casters, and I remember when I was on screen, because I was one of the people streaming it. They kept me on stream a lot.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
I think it's because like, 1, I had cam on, and 2, it was interesting that I was a feral druid, and then I think the
Right.
third thing was that I had the Popcat combo points, you know?
Oh, it's very
And
eye-catching, yeah.
they loved them. They were
Mhm.
like, "Wait, can we bring her full screen? Do you guys see these combo points?"
It is cool, yeah. I love those.
Yeah. Yeah, so I remember, like, Eyelash being just, like, enthralled about the, is that the right word? But yeah, just, like, amazed
Yeah,
by them.
that's cool.
It was fun. Yeah, it was really cool. I think we got 2nd or 3rd place. I think I played with Cherry. You know who
Oh, I
Cherry
think I
is?
know Cherry. I think I've been in a stream where we, like, rated them and I followed them, so
Yeah. Yeah,
Feral
yeah. I
Druid
think it was,
player,
like,
right?
me and Cherry and, like, yes. Yeah, she
Okay,
wasn't previously. Then
gotcha.
she started and she was like, "You're my inspiration." And I'm like, "I love you so much. That's so nice of you to
Aw.
say."
That's
Yeah. It was,
awesome.
like, her and, like, I think Bunton and a couple of other people. It's so hard to remember.
That's cool. Feral Druids seem to have this really, like, wholesome kinda community, like, everyone that I talk to
Yeah.
I know, like, 5 ferals total, but, like, all of them know who you are, and all of them somehow know each other, like, there's some secret underground network of cats.
It's not underground, it's just the Dream Grove Discord. It's
Oh,
very
okay.
public, and
Huh.
that is the most active channel, I think, in all of the World of Warcraft, like, spec channels. I think
Wow.
the Feral channel is the most active. Like, it is there's constant conversation in there. It's almost none of it
That's
is on
cool.
topic, but because of that, we're all, like, friends, you know? So,
Right.
it's like when somebody says they know a Feral Druid, I'm like, "Who? Tell me. I bet I know them."
That's cool. That's nice. I don't really participate in any class discords. Pretty much most discords that are, like, not, like, my friend's server are very hostile. Like, I was when I was setting up beta, like, I went to the LVI Discord, and it was just people, like, getting berated. "Did you not read the pins? Can you not scroll up 1 inch?"
Oh my
I'm like, "I'm not
god.
talking in this fucking thing." I had, like, a suggestion or something I went in there for, and I'm just afraid to talk in most discords. But that's
Yeah.
nice that the Druids have a good one. I'm intimidated
Well,
by big
the
discords.
feral one is nice. I
Oh,
would
okay.
avoid the restoration channel. Much
Oh,
love
shit.
to the rest of druids I know. I would avoid that channel. And the PvP channel is like a dirty basement full of like sweaty men who just like work out and post pictures of their abs and like are
What?
very hostile.
Oh,
It's
Imma check it out.
crazy. I'm scared. I guess yeah, I mean, might be your
No,
thing.
I'm kidding.
But they're really mean too, so
That's funny, though. Damn.
yeah.
There's a whole culture over there in the Dream Grove.
Oh, oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's in every class Discord as well. They've all got like those channels. And then like the Demon Hunter server is entirely like that channel.
Damn. I would imagine demon hunters have a very unhinged community. I don't know why, but that doesn't shock
I
me.
know one good Demon Hunter. His name is Bees.
Okay, shout out bees.
We love bees.
All right, and speaking of beta, I want to talk a little bit about beta, and then we'll let you go because we're coming up. I don't want to take too much of your time.
Sure.
But how are you feeling about Feral Druid overall going into War Within? You don't got to go like super specific. Maybe just like
Yeah.
a quick vibe. How are you
Yeah.
feeling?
I've tried to make videos about this 3 times, but they keep
Oh yeah, I
changing
know.
things. And then my
Hmm.
complaints like change. Um Initially I was like I was dooming, I was gonna reroll. I was like unironically like looking for other specs to play.
That would be
Um
so sad.
I know. I've never not played Feral, but, they've made some changes that are, like, gonna make it okay. I
Okay.
think it'll be playable. I think it'll be really good in Raid and, like, playable in M+. And that's a
Hmm.
bummer. I want Feral to be, like, super fun in Mythic Plus, but they're
Yeah.
lowering our energy, basically, so we can't, like we have to sit and, like, pool energy, and that just does not feel good in AoE to
Hmm.
me. I don't think there's any way to
Yeah.
make it feel good.
That is weird. So I like when they have like more wiggle room for stuff like that. Like I don't know if it's a talent or whatever for Shadow Priest that gives me like 50% more space on my insanity bar, but I love being able to like not be overcapping, but still
Yeah.
like pool a good amount. I don't know. So I get what you mean with that for sure.
Mhm.
They are
We
getting frenzied regen and cap form, which I saw you use on beta, and I
Yes.
was like so excited. That is
Yeah,
fucking
Frenzied
awesome.
Regen. And then, like, this is gonna be the Mythic Plus talent, like, hero talent, because there's no way you're
Hmm.
playing a healing spec when you can play a defense spec. So Druid of the Claw, like, when you press Bear form, Like, you not only do you get frenzied regen on Catform, but, like, when you press Bear form, you get, like, 4% magic damage reduction, you get 10%, of your HP, 10% stamina, you get, armor, and you heal over time for all the damage you've taken over, like, 8 seconds or
Oh
something.
my god. What are you, a
It's
warlock or
insane.
something?
It's crazy. You just
That's
press
cool as
Bear
hell.
form, and you're just invulnerable. And then you can press
Nice.
Iron Fur, and you can press Frenzied Regen, and then you can just with Fluid form, you can press Shred or Rake to go back into Cat form, which is also, like, super cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay,
You
that
can
was
press
my next
Mangle
thing
to
is
go into Bear
fluid
form.
shape shifting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice. That just seems like a smooth, like such a nice improvement. I saw that talent. I
It's
read the tooltip and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great." And then I don't think I really play it because, well, I was just playing Resto Druid because like I
Mhm.
don't have Boomkin form, and
No.
I don't know. I didn't really mess with it too much, but it seems like it's awesome for Feral. And then there's some Guardian stuff where you can like cat weave maybe. So we'll have to
I think it was made
check that
for
out.
Druid of the Claw, which makes it really
Yes.
weird that it's on the Balance and Resto side of the tree.
Oh yeah, it's like under
Very
Typhoon and all
strange.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. It's really
very
weird.
strange indeed.
They're not gonna
Hmm.
change our class tree.
Yeah,
They did
the
it
Druid
we had the
class
same
tree has been so weird.
it's been the same since Dragonflight Alpha.
Hmm.
They haven't changed it at all except for, like, adding, like, 1 new talent or whatever.
Right.
So, I think they're gonna do the same for the War Within,
Is
and
there
I'm
anything
just
that you're
assuming of it.
still dooming about for War Within that you think?
Bes beside the energy,
Hmm.
the melee range it feels
Oh,
so bad.
that's right. Maybe I'll
It
insert
feels
the
like
clip
I'm
here
lagging.
of the long arms.
Dude, that is
You
such
do
a
have long
funny clip.
arms. You're like, what?
I'm gonna miss my long arms so bad. Did you know they're taking away my long arms?
You do
Luna?
have long
Damn.
arms
They're taking
for
them
your
away.
stature. I do as
Oh,
well. Wait,
I
what?
didn't mean in real life.
Oh.
Bruh.
I
I
was
feel
So
like,
like you're
who's
good.
getting
taking those
normally
away?
sized
Who's
arms.
taking
What
your
are you
arms
saying?
away? What is
No,
this
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
we
my
shit?
arms
both
are
have.
normal.
Hold
I
up
feel like we
here.
both have kind of like long arms,
I feel like
like
mine are normal. What are you
long,
saying?
elegant arms.
My arms are
Wait, you're
Crisis.
definitely not
elegant and you have
normal.
Long,
long arms?
beautiful, elegant chimpanzee arms.
Oh my,
You definitely
so
do
good.
not have long arms,
I know.
but I definitely do.
No, I mean, I just meant the, like, I was talking about in game, Leanne.
That was so funny. I was
After that, I was
dying.
like, are my arms long? Like, I feel like they're normal. I don't know now. She said
So
long
good.
and
Leanne's
elegant
so
though,
funny.
so I don't know. Really funny clip.
Yeah, the long arms
Uh,
seem like important.
yeah, so it feels like you're lagging because you're pressing shred, but it's like it's not working.
Right.
You know? So it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep pressing it," but it's not working, and it's like I'm lagging,
Hmm.
because sometimes it is working because the tank is, like, moving around and stuff. It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I think I felt that when I was tanking on Guardian. I
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like I was like, "Oh, maybe I don't have the talent that increases my like the balance one that makes your range a little bit bigger." And then I took it and I'm like tanking mobs and I'm losing threat on stuff. And I'm
Doesn't
like,
work.
I know that I'm thrashing that. Like I've played Guardian like on and off casually for like years. Like I
Yeah.
know when I thrash that it hits that, and it wasn't. It was bothering me so much, and then I found out that no, that's intended. I'm like, oh, all right,
It only works for balance and resto now. So sad.
big bummer.
The problem, because this was never a problem, the melee range, it was just like a feral and rogue thing. And then
Hmm.
they gave it to fucking red paladins. And now it's a problem. And now
Right.
they take it away from all of us. I feel like we're being punished for the sins of retribution paladins.
Damn. It's retribution for the retribution.
Should just get rid of them. Just take it away
Yeah.
from them. Like, give it back to me. Like, what am I? I'm just a kitty cat. I'm just a
Yeah.
little cat.
And last from the community is what do you think about the direction of the new affixes that they put out? I know everyone's talked about it a million times, so we don't gotta deep
Yeah.
dive it or
I think
anything.
it's
But just
fine.
like I think it's fine too. Oh yeah, me and you we're like the anti-doomers on this since the
Yeah, yeah,
beginning.
because, like, at
Yeah.
first, like, the instinct was to be like, "Oh, that's horrible," but then you read
Yeah.
more about it and you're like, "Actually, like, I don't think this is gonna affect
It
anything."
doesn't matter. Like
No, I don't think you're gonna even notice it.
I think
Maybe, like,
it
certain
doesn't.
weeks, there's gonna be a mob you want to, like, focus down because he's gonna do extra damage to, like, whoever, but
Yeah, I think this is like a very sneaky thing from Blizzard where like if you really think about it, it's not a huge bonus, but if you're just pugging like a 5 to 10 weekly key and you read the tooltip and you're like, oh my god, we need to bring, and it's actually going to maybe
We need to
help
bring
like
a
the variety in where the majority of the keys are being done, which is probably like 5 to
yeah,
12 range, I would think.
yeah.
Even though it's like not that big of a bonus, you're kind of like messing with people's heads a little bit, which is kind of cool. I don't know. Like, it doesn't really matter. And if
Yeah.
you know that, then it's fine. But if you're someone that would only invite meta classes to a +10, then you're also probably someone that like would think that it's really important to
To
bring
bring
a
like
feral
a
on that
bleed
week.
class or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it
Like
might
that's
actually accomplish that. The only thing I don't love is the one that makes the mobs cast faster. I'm like, maybe we don't need that. Maybe we don't need the negative
yeah.
sides of it at
I
all.
think that's the only one that's like you might have to focus this mob down because it has increased to
Right.
like haste or whatever.
Well, it has 2 copies of PI permanently, which, like, when you think about it like that,
That's a
it's
bit
actually
much.
a lot.
That's a
Yeah,
bit
and,
much.
PI was nerfed, but at least it has a duration. But anyway.
Yeah. But it'll only be some mobs on some weeks.
Yes.
Like it's
And it's
just
never the bosses, and it's never all
oh,
the trash. And
yeah, it's
granted, like, Feral does a lot of bleed damage, but, like, your bite isn't a bleed. Your autos aren't a
no.
bleed. Your
And bite is our
well,
most of our damage. So
right. So it's
it's
kinda
just
like
gonna be like Primal Wrath and Rake, which is like it's I don't know. It's not really gonna affect anything. It might make me do
mhm,
like 500 more DPS overall.
right. Yeah, so I don't think it's that bad. We'll see what happens. I heard that they're, like, thinking about kind of redoing, like, maybe the above 10 bracket or something. I didn't read the full interview,
Yeah.
but they're saying they're, like, thinking a lot about
They
affixes,
hinted at
so
it. They're like, there's more coming. So
I
I'm
always
really
thought that that would be
excited.
cool, like, because there's, like, 2 different kinds of there's, like, the keys you do because you're a raider and your guild is like, "Oh, you should get 2 slots of M+ plus or something maybe, or all of them,
Mhm.
or 1 slot or whatever." So you just wanna get in, get out, do your key. And then there's people, like, that they're not doing the keys for loot, they're doing it for, like, score or, like, to progress or, like, to do
Yeah.
hard stuff with their friends, but they're all, like, lumped together in one thing. So it makes sense that it would almost make sense to be like, "Hey, above +10, there's only 1 affix, or there's no affixes," or whatever. I don't know what they do, but it kinda makes sense to split it up because it really is, like, 2 different
Yeah.
purposes.
Ian did hint at that. He's like, we want to find a way for there to be less variation week to week for people who are pushing for score,
Nice.
which is
I like
interesting.
that.
Maybe they'll get rid of like Tyran Fort or something. I don't know. I kind of like Fort
Mm,
weeks because you do bigger numbers, but
right.
also, it's not Tyran, which is
I
nice
don't
too.
wanna be fighting a boss for more than, like, 3 minutes. Like, anytime I look down
It
and I'm
shouldn't be a
like,
raid boss.
yeah, there's no need. Like, we don't need Tyrant at all, and then Trash living longer is just more fun because everyone just wants to do big damage. So it's like,
And like the longer a pull goes, the better it is for my spec at
yes.
least. So
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yep, yep. All right. That kind of wraps it up. Do you have anything that you wanna plug? Obviously, I'm putting your Twitter and your Twitch and all of your information will be
Yeah.
somewhere. It'll at least in the description and stuff, and then I think I'm gonna make this little, like, floating thing, like a newscaster broadcast, scrolling text, like, "Follow Marvel
Oh,
here." So, I don't know.
that's
But
fun.
anything other than
Okay.
Twitter, Twitch, you have YouTube as well. I
I do
watched
have
your
a
video on how
YouTube.
to get the forms. Thank you for that.
Dude, I'm so glad people liked that video. I had a lot of
It
people who
was
tell me
good.
that they use that.
It's
I
great. I
love
use my
that.
owl.
I did have a guy at BlizzCon also come up to me and tell me that like my Razageth like VOD of us killing it and getting Hall of Fame like helped him
Mhm.
so much. And I wanted to hug him so hard. Like that was such a nice thing to
That's
say.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
But
very sweet.
I don't yeah, I'm trying to post to YouTube more. YouTube's kinda hard for me, but yeah, like I'm
Yeah,
super active on
YouTube's rough.
Twitter. It's so hard. I'm not good at projects.
Yeah, same.
Um
I've been trying to do this podcast for, like, 3 years. Just I
I was
finally did
surprised when
it.
I heard you wanted to be a podcast, or you
I
wanted to do a
love
podcast, but
podcasts. I love talking to people. I like editing videos. I like talking to my
cool.
friends. I like talking about Mythic Plus. I like sharing information. I like doing stuff. It's kind of weird because I just said that YouTube is really hard, but like I do like. I think because I used to make music like on the computer, so it's kind of similar
Ooh,
as editing a video, where like you have an
yeah.
idea, you kind of have like all the components, you put them where they need to go, you balance everything, and then you hit export, you upload it, and it's done, and you're like, look, I just spent
Do
like
you
all these hours doing this, and here
you
it
gotta
is.
finish
Versus
it,
like,
and it's like, what if I miss something? And then you
yes.
gotta make a thumbnail, and then you have to have, like, a good
Hmm.
title, and you have to make
My
those work
secret
together.
The secret
Yeah.
for me that I've realized is to talk about it as little as possible until it's done. Because something that
Mhm.
I've found myself doing is I'm like, oh, I want to make a video about this. And then I'll tell a bunch of people about it. And they're like, that's such a good idea. And then
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I already got the dopamine from people saying that's a good idea.
exactly.
So
You
why the
got the
fuck would I spend
reward.
10 hours doing, whatever I need to do? So I'm like, let me
Yeah.
keep this quiet. I only told people to submit questions like today. And I talked
Oh,
to a few people
yeah.
about it, but I think like part of that for me is like I need to save the like reward part for when all the work is done rather than like getting a mini reward for like having an idea, if that makes
It's
sense.
definitely a psychological thing that, like, I've
Hmm.
read about before,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah, yeah, that's, like, a real thing. I think, like,
Hmm.
Dr. K on YouTube? Like,
Yeah.
Healthy Gamer GG?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He's great.
Yeah, he's talked about
Yeah, I
it.
love
Yeah,
him.
he's awesome, yeah.
Nice. Okay, that makes sense. Because I felt like immediately like my motivation's like cut down because I feel good. I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna just
Yeah.
stream instead. Because streaming is nice. You turn it on, you're playing a
Yes.
game, you're talking to your
It's easy.
friends, you got people in chat being nice to you most of the time. Sometimes they give you money. You're like, this is fucking cool. Why would I spend
Yeah.
hours editing a video that who knows if anyone will watch it? But
Yeah. The cool
yeah,
thing about YouTube videos, though, that Twitch or that streaming can do is that, um, for years, people will consume that content on YouTube.
yes, exactly,
Like, you don't get that on Twitch. Like, once you
right,
stream, like, you're offline, nobody's consuming your content anymore.
right.
So,
Unless you're, sometimes you go through my vods, you clip things in the middle of the night.
yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes people
We
watch it. No,
we were talking when I was doing that even.
I know, I
And
know. I was just
I think
teasing.
I even told you that I made it, or no, I
You're
think I
like, I'm looking
posted a
for the
link in your
VOD.
chat.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was just kidding.
exactly.
Cool. Okay, so finally, I've done the podcast. I don't know what kind of schedule I'm gonna do. I don't know if I could find someone every week, but see what
Yeah,
happens. And obviously, you are welcome back at any point. We'll have to do a check in when War Within comes out, at least, or before then.
that'd be fun.
But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so
I
much.
love the idea of doing a podcast.
Yeah, it's fun. I had a blast. I'm all hyped up. I had a bunch of coffee
Good.
before,
Oh,
which
yeah.
might have not been good, but I had plenty of
No, it's
energy.
good.
So
It's great. Because now you're
cool.
gonna,
Well, thank
like,
you.
be motivated to edit it and stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm not editing it today. That's the deal I made with myself.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because otherwise, I'd be stressed out about like I record it today and then I'm putting it in a folder and I can start streaming like once we're done if I want.
Oh, cool.
Because
Okay.
otherwise it would be too much of a task for me. Like it would seem so scary if I have to record the podcast and then edit it because it's gonna take a while because I want to do a good job. So I'm like
100%. I get
the
that.
work is done once we're done and then not that it's work, but you know what I mean. Then I'm
And
free
your
to
reward
stream
is
or
being able
play
to
Age of
stream
Empires or WoW, whatever I want.
Raid Shadow
So if you want
Legends.
to do keys after, let me know. Yeah, reach out. Dude, that was funny.
I'm excited.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Marv. Love you very much. Appreciate your
I love
time. We'll
you.
do keys. Bye.